Yeah.
I looked it up when we were, I was trying to put some music together for that particular spot that you just heard, that advertisement. And here's the peculiar thing. Greg was a guest on Buddy's show in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And so Greg was sitting in our cloud room here
Yes.
at the WOCA studios. And he said, "Why are you playing the music from my show?" Now, he didn't know that was me, and I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah.
So when I turned around, I said, "Hey, Greg, what are you doing here?" He said, "Oh, what'd you do, leave? You left the other station?" I said, "No, this is the other station."
Yeah, the other station left.
So he didn't know that WOCA moved, and so anyway, so that's why he's on that commercial with me. Is because I say, "Well, come on, as long as you're here, why don't you do the commercial with me?"
Sure.
And then I said, "I'm having a hard time finding the music to this thing because I want to put the piece of music behind the spoken part that's from the show itself." And of course, he had it, handy. He went right to some website and zoom, zoom, zoom. I had it in no time.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty cool.
Very cool. So you're going when on the 19th?
The 19th of February. That's our season tickets with my mom.
All right. So let's see. Right now, you want to know the temperature. I know people say you got to say the temperature more often. I don't know why.
Oh.
But it's 60 degrees, just in case you wanted to know. And it's expected to get into the lower 80s today. Not bad, huh?
Yeah.
Down into the mid 60s tonight. And no, I don't see any really cold temperatures at all. In fact, everything is mild all the way for the next 9 or 10 days, I guess. All right.
Yep.
Based on what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at something. I'm not a meteorologist.
Nope.
All right. If you were asking me, what does a meteorologist study? I would think meteors, wouldn't you?
I would think so too. Yeah.
All right.
I just wonder how they came up with words like that.
Dude, when I was going through my mom and dad's things, after my mom passed away last year, my dad passed away 4 years earlier. But in going through things, I found a couple of telegrams. One that stands out that I, of course, preserved is the telegram congratulating them on getting married from 40 something.
Yeah.
Whatever the year they got married. And I was thinking how commonplace telegrams used to be.
1946.
And so not only would you not see the telegram. See, I'm really not old enough to really remember this that well. But if I remember from the movies, and somebody out there, maybe you're older than us, can perhaps fill us in. But the telegram itself was delivered by a messenger, right? So it was sent by teletype, right? Am I right about that?
Yes.
And then it was pasted onto a piece of paper, because I remember they were like pasted on.
Yeah.
The one that I looked at was anyway.
Yeah.
Like strips of paper.
Yeah.
Pasted on so the person could read it in a normal way, and it was funny. Every time there was a period, there was the word "stop."
Yeah.
Instead of a period, it was a stop. Congratulations on your marriage. Stop.
I think that's cool.
From your friends Bill and Ellen. Stop. Hope to see you in the summer. Stop. Right? It did. It was how it was.
That's funny.
Yeah. So the Western Union telegram still exists, first of all, and that was how I got to looking into this. So here we go. For anybody who's interested in this, listen to this. In 1851, Western Union was begun. It started out as the New York and Mississippi Valley Printing Telegraph Company. That's what it was called.
Oh, okay.
The New York and Mississippi Valley Printing Telegraph Company. They changed their name in 1856, 5 years later, from the New York and Mississippi Valley Printing Telegraph Company to Western Union.
Okay.
The new name marked consolidation of several lines in the westernmost reaches of the U.S. telegraph system, which probably wasn't very far west, right? But 1856. So they were literally beginning, a network.
Yeah.
You might say a network or a worldwide web or interstate web or something. They completed their first transcontinental telegraph line across North America in 1861.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive.
Before the Civil War.
Yeah.
Right?
That's very
They get the
impressive.
first transcontinental telegraph line completed.
And that was Morse code then, probably, right?
Somebody may know more about this than I do. It doesn't say it, but I think so. Yeah, I don't know. It became a public entity in 1865 when it was traded on the New York Stock Exchange for the first time. The ticker symbol being WU, Western
See,
Union.
They knew all about entrepreneurialism back then.
1865.
That is amazing.
Isn't that when the Civil War ended?
Wow.
Isn't that when the Civil War
I think
ended?
so, yeah.
And then, of course, they got into the stock market itself. As far as actually giving them the tools that they used, they introduced the stock ticker, the very thing that people eventually would throw out windows. The reason the ticker tape parade got its name.
Oh, wow. That is so
The
cool.
Western Union Company introduced the first successful stock ticker.
In the mid-1800s,
1869. 69 for that one.
69, wow.
Now here's something that you're going to find hard to believe. In 1871, Western Union introduced the first money transfer.
Oh, my.
1871.
Wow.
1871. Wire me some money, honey. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, how did they? So they would have to send a Western Union telegram to ask for the money,
Yes.
right? And they'd have to be communicating back and forth. That's the only way they could communicate.
Right.
Am I right about this?
Right, exactly. I mean, there are no phones.
I don't know. I don't remember when phones came around.
And then
Hold on.
then the one bank had to trust the other bank to take the cash
You're right.
and ride it over there on their horse or something and put it in the account.
Here you go, mister.
Cool.
Here's your $22. I can't believe you're taking $22. That was a big number, right? Back then?
Yeah, that was.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Yes, there are two versions of the Morse code. The Western Union version is called the Continental Code, and it had dots and two different lengths of dashes. And then what became more standard is the International Code, which was the symbol dot and dash.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. So why that's
Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. It's hard enough to determine the dots from the dash, let alone a dot and two types of dashes.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was all audible then, huh? It was all the person operating had to be able to decipher it with their ears,
Exactly.
with their hearing. Wow.
Exactly. That was a skill.
In the 1890s, Western Union provided service to Europe, North Africa, North and South America, Australia, and Asia.
Wow.
No satellites in the sky yet.
No, they cable across the
I don't
water.
know. So what they did, they put a cable under the ocean, right?
They'd have to, yeah. Wow.
1914, they introduced the first charge card. Western Union,
Oh my gosh.
the first credit card.
See, those entrepreneurs, they recognize
1914.
stuff. Technology never stops.
1933. Now, so far, everything I've told you still exists.
1914 credit card.
This
Wow.
next one, I don't think exists anymore. In 1933, Western Union delivered the first singing telegram.
Oh, wow. How cool is that?
I wonder who had that idea. They were sitting in the
Yeah.
boardroom going, you know what? We're delivering messages all over the world. Do you think we could sing one? What?
Exactly.
Yeah, we could offer. We could get this. I got an idea, boss. I got an idea.
We'll hire a pretty girl.
My sister is a great singer. She needs a job, boss. What do you say? What do you say we hire her? Mary Ellen, come in here. Sing for the boss, would you?
That's probably what happened.
And that's how they talked. Remember?
Exactly.
I saw it in the movies. That's how they all talked
That's
back
right.
then.
They all talk just like you're talking now.
Hey, boss, come here. Mary Ellen, sing a song for the boss, would you? All right, 1943. Western Union pioneered the first commercial inner city, are you ready for this? Microwave communications system.
Oh my gosh.
The same thing we use here
Yeah.
to send. Oh, no, we don't do it anymore. Joe told me we don't use microwave anymore, but we used to. Up until the day we moved here to the Paddock Mall, we used to send, for all those years, the signal from the Cascades to the tower that actually broadcasts WOCA. We used to send that signal by way of a microwave. Don't ask me to explain it, and don't ask me the connection between that and the little oven I have at home.
Yeah, right.
I don't know that I understand it. All I know is that that's what it is. It's a microwave, and
Yeah.
we used to use that, but I guess we don't use that anymore.
Gosh.
Point to Joe. 1974. Are you ready for this? The first satellite, the first commercial satellite, was introduced by Western Union.
Oh my gosh.
Western Union introduced the first commercial satellite in the United States.
Oh my. 1974?
74.
Gosh. Those guys are
We were in the dark
geniuses.
ages in the early 70s. We didn't even know it.
Yeah, exactly. Those guys at Western Union are geniuses. They probably own the planet.
And then in 1980, money transfer revenue exceeded telegram service revenue for the first time. In other words, more people started using it to send money than to send messages. Well, by 1980, we had phones, and
Oh,
of
yeah.
course.
And
so-
they still do, because you go to the grocery stores. And
still
you
have
see
them
the
there,
Western
yeah.
Union
Yeah.
money transfers.
And here's something maybe you never knew. We need to give credit where credit is due. In 1982, and by the way, you can look this up yourself. I got it from the Western Union website. So they're bragging about themselves, but why not? If they did it, they pioneered commercial email service with something called EasyLink. 1982, email service,
wow.
Western Union.
EasyLink, yeah. Yeah.
How about that? We all were giving credit to AOL.
Exactly. Oh, my God.
That was 1982. The next one is 1995. Western Union was acquired by First Data Corporation. In 2000, WesternUnion.com was launched the website to provide consumers with fast, convenient ways to send money online. So they made a website in 2000. In 2001, they celebrated their 150th anniversary, and at that time they had 100,000 agent locations worldwide.
Wow.
In 2006, they spun off as an independent company again, and they were traded on the New York Stock Exchange again under the ticker symbol WU. So I guess they broke away from the First Data Corporation that had bought them. In 2007, they partnered with GSMA to develop mobile money transfers.
Oh, gosh, that's right. You can use your phone and just take care of
In
it.
2009, they expanded to the prepaid card business. You can see these prepaid cards in Walmart, etc.
Oh, wow, that's Western Union.
Well, they're not all Western Union, but they have theirs. They acquired Custom House to grow cross-border business-to-business payments. 2009, they did that so you could buy something from England, let's say, and not worry. I do that a lot, actually.
Yeah, you do.
It's not tangible stuff. I pay for my website,
Yeah.
our website. They created Western Business Solutions in 2010, which I don't even know what that is. In 2011, they acquired TravelX Global Business Payments to grow the Western Union Business Solutions, to make that bigger, I guess. And in 2012, the most updated thing on the list, they opened their 500,000th agent location.
Oh, this is such a fascinating
So most of
history
the more
Western
recent
Union.
ones is just, business growth and that kind of thing. But it's just amazing to see some of the actual technology contributions that they made to all of us. So there you go. I never knew all that about Western Union. Let me take a phone call, then we'll move on. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, back in the day when they were still doing telegraphy, the station operators at most railroad stations wore two hats. They were the Western Union agent for that town, and they were also the railroad superintendent for that town. And they got two paychecks, one from Western Union, one from the railroad.
Oh, wow.
And for many of those locations, the Western Union pay was greater. And the guy would go home and turn over his entire railroad check to his wife with great ceremony and keep the Western Union money for himself.
Well, she didn't know about that one. Oh, no.
She didn't know about that one.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
have
Good
a
stuff.
good day.
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate the additional information.
Yeah, and what was the year Western Union started?
Let me look again.
I did write it down, 18.
It started oh boy. Where's the other page to this?
Oh,
Throw me a curveball here.
oh, I'm
Where is-
sorry.
Where is it? 1851.
Okay.
1851.
excellent.
Western
Thank
Union was
you.
founded as the New York and Mississippi Valley Printing Telegraph Company.
Gosh.
Doesn't exactly roll off your tongue, does it?
No.
All right, let's push forward, and we'll take a little break, got some news, and then after that, we'll do our segment with Galen Unold, and he'll tell us why it's important to donate blood. Our due date to give blood, Robin, is this coming Friday,
Yep.
which also happens to be the kickoff of the Olympics.
Yep.
And I got an interesting article to share with Galen and everybody. It's why we won't recognize the NFL in 10 years.
That's going to be awesome.
And so we'll do that when we come back. This is The Source, WOCA.
Last year, over $1 billion, that's a B with 9 zeros, was left on the table from taxes not done right. But thankfully, H&R Block tax preparers have over 100 hours of training to help you get your piece of the billion back. Come visit us and our friends at H&R Block this tax season at the Paddock Mall, Marion Oaks, and Triple Crown Shopping Centers to make sure you get your maximum refund. Don't forget to check with your favorite nonprofit for referral information where applicable.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Hi, Danny Werfel here. You don't have to sacrifice convenience for local personal service.
At Florida Credit Union, you can transfer your high credit card balances to our rewards card and actually get paid with cash back. You'll enjoy low rates and a customizable card that fits your lifestyle for free.
Never tried a credit union? Maybe it's time for a new game plan.
The Florida Credit Union Wave Card, connecting your money to your life.
Here are today's headlines from The Source, WOCA. Carlos Lopez Cantera's first day as Florida's lieutenant governor was like the job itself, with lots of style and not much substance. The former Miami-Dade legislator and property appraiser who ended Governor Rick Scott's long search for a number two took the oath of office in a brief private ceremony yesterday in Scott's office in the Capitol. The oath was administered by Judge Joseph Lewis Jr., Chief Judge of the First District Court of Appeal. The Star Banner is reporting that Pat Garlitz, the wife of Big Daddy Don Garlitz, died on Sunday at the age of 79. The report says she died at home. Don Garlitz sent an email message stating that Mrs. Garlitz had been suffering recently, adding that it was a blessing to see God take her into his care. The couple had been married 61 years. A memorial service will be held at 2 p.m. on Saturday at Grace Presbyterian Church, located at 2255 Southeast 38th Avenue here in Ocala, with a reception to follow. The family asks that in lieu of flowers, donations be made to World Vision at worldvision.org, through which Pat and Don have long supported needy children. Since 2008, Florida has been promising its residents a state-run health insurance exchange. Now officials say they are at last ready to launch Florida Health Choices and hope to reach people who can't afford insurance on the federal exchange or just don't like the president's plan. Chief Executive Officer Rose Knapp, a veteran of the Florida Healthy Kids Corporation, said her target audience includes roughly 800,000 people caught in the coverage gap because they make too much to qualify for Florida's bare-bones Medicaid plan, but too little to qualify for subsidies to purchase insurance on the federal marketplace. Other customers would be people opposed to the Affordable Care Act or those who missed the spring enrollment deadline and find themselves shopping for other options later in the year. Major insurers like Humana and Florida Blue are not signed on to Florida Health Choices for now, and if you are required to have insurance under the federal law, these products won't save you from a possible federal fine. The field of Republicans looking to replace a disgraced Florida congressman is growing. State Senate Majority Leader Elizabeth Benequisto and former State Representative Paige Kriegel formally declared their candidacies yesterday for the seat vacated by U.S. Representative Trey Radel. Former Purdue University basketball star Kurt Clausen is also running. Radel resigned from Congress last week, 2 months after he pleaded guilty to cocaine possession charges. The freshman Republican faced a House ethics investigation, a growing group of primary challengers, and the steady drumbeat of a Republican establishment calling for him to step down. Florida's 19th congressional district is solidly Republican, offering Democrats little chance for a pickup opportunity. All three candidates in the Gulf Coast district support repealing President Barack Obama's health care law. The primary election is April 22nd. More than 90 whales have become stranded on Florida beaches in the past 2 months, almost 3 times the average, baffling marine biologists and making them wonder if a deadly common denominator is at play. The series of cold fronts that marched across Florida in the past month could be a factor. Any kind of a front or a hurricane disorients the animals, and they come in, according to a statement from Aaron Fogeres, a marine mammal biologist with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Fisheries. Another theory is that the whales might have contracted morbillivirus, an ailment similar to canine distemper that has been attacking dolphins along the East Coast, but necropsies failed to confirm that. Navy sonar, which can cause whales to aim toward shore, has also been ruled out because the Navy was not conducting any sonar exercises when the whales were stranded. And those are the headlines from the source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Where in Florida? Some dense fog for a while this morning. Otherwise, another unseasonably warm day today with a mix of sun and clouds and a high of 79 to 83. It'll be partly cloudy tonight, low 60 inland, 67 on the coast. Tomorrow, partly sunny and very warm with a shower or two around in the afternoon, the high 78 to 82. For Wednesday, mostly cloudy and warm with a shower around in the afternoon, the high 80 to 84. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, Robin. You look tired.
I am. I've been running all over town.
Why? Why not drive?
I need to get this stupid document notarized.
Well, that's easy. You need personal service.
Duh. That's what I've been looking for.
You need to go see Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can notarize that for you, make copies, fax it wherever, or send it out in the mail. Heck, he can even scan it and email it for you.
Really? Where is he at?
2375 Northeast 25th Avenue, on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. You can call him at 789-6683.
Personal Service Center. Thanks, Larry.
Do black patent leather shoes really reflect up? Find out at the Ocala Civic Theater's delightful musical comedy running from February 6th to March 2nd.
Watch from late bloomer Eddie Ryan's first day of Catholic school to the senior prom.
This musical romp goes through confession, poodle skirts, guardian angels, gym class, rock and roll, and the birds and the bees.
Do black patent leather shoes really reflect up? Is set for performances from February 6th till March 2nd at the Ocala Civic Theater. It's a divine comedy directed by Greg Thompson.
Who?
Yeah, that guy. He's an actor or something.
I don't know.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Thank you very much, Mr. Relatively Deep Voice fan. Man, it's right at 8 o'clock already. It is 8 o'clock, so I can do the legal ID. This is WOCA Ocala. I wonder when that's got started, that whole legal ID thing.
Yeah.
Every top and bottom of the hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to.
Yeah.
Unold is on the phone. He's known about legal IDs all his life. His dad being a broadcaster and Galen himself. Yep. And, of course, he reminds us of the importance of donating blood over at LifeSouth. Good morning, Galen. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Larry. Robin, how are y'all?
Pretty good. A little are you driving right now?
Yeah.
How's the fog out there?
It's not lifting. It's still pretty thick. So.
Oh man, be careful.
Yeah. Thank you.
I always think of you and Alex and driving that thing every day. That commute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You are a commuter.
I am a commuter. Yes. I am.
So anyway, how's the blood supply doing?
We're okay. We currently have a 4-day supply, which is what we'd like to have 7, but 4 is better than 0. So we're doing okay, and you never know what tomorrow will bring. And I guess we got another ice storm coming that's in the Midwest, and it's heading our way again. So we're kind of preparing for that again.
Well, you have a 4-day supply, and Robin and I are doing 4 days, so that'll work out nice.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, that's convenient, isn't it? Yeah.
We bumped into Tom Davis yesterday, also at Publix.
Yeah.
Well, that must have been tragic for both of you.
More for him than for me. I survived pretty well. He's a little bit bruised, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have an interesting topic. I thought you would. I had it actually for yesterday, but we were into the Super Bowl, and I thought it would be better to put this one off a little bit. So,
did you watch the national anthem, Larry?
I forgot to watch it.
Me too.
I forgot to watch it. Damn, I forgot.
Okay.
But I did watch a lot of Olympic songs this morning because I have an Olympic thing with Joe.
The national anthems or the
No.
That one, isn't that the Olympic song?
Well, there's hold on. There's the fanfare when I don't know which is which, and then there's oh my goodness, the bugle call. I can't remember what it's called, but that's the I think that's the bugle. I can't think. Buglers.
Okay.
Anyway, and then there's usually like a couple of famous songs like Gloria Estefan or
Oh, yeah.
Freddie Mercury, and then that guy did one.
Oh,
or lady rather. It was a lady.
What, We're the Champions by Freddie?
No, it's the one that were in Barcelona. Anyway, so
yeah, I don't know.
This will be fun.
There's Celine Dion, and what's the lady married to the guy who writes for Broadway? Brightman, Sarah Brightman.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. She's so good.
Anyway,
too.
The NFL is not going to look the same in 10 years, and one of the things in this article is exactly what you've been telling us about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, they'll be in London. Yeah.
So let me tell you, this is written by a guy named Jason Stokes. It was published on the Sports Illustrated website, and you might want to look at it yourself because it's got some nice pictures to go with it.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's why you look at Sports Illustrated.
That's right. That's why it's called Illustrated, right?
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, so here's what he says. He says the uniforms will be more form-fitting.
How much more form-fitting can they get than the guys we saw in the Super Bowl? I mean, they were like sucked right in there unless they're going to be painted on.
Let me read what he wrote and then see if you agree, Galen, if you think. It says, the first thing you notice when you watch football is huge players with huge pads crashing into each other. But if you see them during warm-up, you'll be surprised to learn that, except for the linemen, a lot of professional footballers are lean, very fast and agile. And the excessive bulk and padding actually that protects from injuries can slow them down. He says, in the future, players may be outfitted with the latest in military technology that provides a lightweight, close-to-body design.
I've heard about this, that they're experimenting with different, especially for the legs, because there isn't all that much padding for the legs, and I know they were talking about. It's not a body armor per se, but it's similar, so that they are more protected in the legs area.
Yeah, he says the game, because of the new technology that the military is using being adapted by the NFL, the game is anticipated to become more fast-paced and higher scoring because focus will shift to speed rather than strength.
Well, and speed's been a big factor in the NFL for probably 25 years, but they're always looking for more speed. And the hard thing is it's one thing to be able to run in a straight line. And now the kind of speed they're looking at is more omnidirectional. So can you change and cut? And the padding kind of prevents that because it is bulky. And I think they weigh like the average middle linebacker wears something like 18 pounds worth of padding and protection. So.
Well, those receivers were fast on the Seahawks, so I mean they were flying. How much faster can they run?
You'd be amazed what drugs can do for you.
Oh, no. All right, the next one. I'm curious what your reaction is going to be. He predicts that there will be no more kickoffs.
In 10 years, I don't know if we'll get there in 10 years, but that's the direction they're moving to. Is no more kickoffs because it's the one play in the NFL where you have the most high impact, right? So they've already changed the kickoff dramatically in the last 10 years, and I don't know if they'll get to the point in 10 years where there is no kickoff. But what do you think about this? You line up guys about 30 yards apart. You tell them to run as fast as they can into each other. When I covered the Jaguars, I had a guy that I used to hang out with, and he described it like this because he was a kickoff specialist. That's the reason he made the team is because he could go down and cover kicks really well. And so he said, imagine this, run as fast as you can from about 20 yards out into your garage door, as hard as you can, and do that 4 or 5 times a game. He said that's what kickoff coverage is like. So, and that's where the most injuries occur. I do believe that That's why they moved up the kick so that there's more likely to have more touchbacks. I don't know if it'll be there in 10 years, but it's definitely kickoffs will be a thing of the past.
But that's the most exciting thing, though, when the guy kicks off the ball and the other guy catches it in their end zone and they run the whole length of the football field and get a touchdown right away. That's what people look for.
But the reason all these changes are being made is because of the massive lawsuit that the NFL just lost for concussions. They are struggling with that right now. I mean, they lost $100 million because of this lawsuit.
In support of what you're saying, the very first thing he writes is under the title of "No More Kickoffs," in line with player safety.
Yeah,
that's the first thing he says.
All right, and people talk about how much pro athletes make all the time, and you can discuss that all you want. But the truth is, the average NFL career lasts just over 2 years, and the average NFL player at the end of their career has some type of debilitating injury. It's something like 50% can't play the game anymore because of a debilitating injury, whether that's because of their knees or legs or hands, concussions. The highest rate for suicide amongst any race of people or group of people is NFL football players because of the concussions. They're more likely to do violent crimes after their time is over because of the blunt trauma to the head. They're doing all these studies, and the NFL saying, wait, we have to, if we really truly care about our players and our product on the field, and then we're going to have to change, because if they don't, then the audience, the NFL audience, is going to say, look, this is way too barbaric for me, because I know that this guy who's out there running a 4-yard dash at 4.2 is hitting another player who weighs 250 pounds as hard as he can. That's got to change. So
there you go.
That's the real concern.
Makes sense to me. I just don't know why you think it wouldn't happen in 10 years. You would think 10 years would be enough for them to make that change.
Yeah.
Well, here's what they're having to do. They have to balance between, and this is what gets the NFL in trouble. What's the number one selling DVD that they've ever had? It's the greatest hits of the NFL. Right? Because part of what people watch for is that crushing hit where the middle linebacker crushes a wide receiver and, he flips something around and lands on his head. Right? That's part of the draw of the NFL. You want to see somebody get hit.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you stand in the stands, I mean, look how many replays did you have during the Super Bowl of the safety coming up and popping a wide receiver and knocking him back 4 yards.
So spectator reaction has to be different. In other words, we look at an old TV show where everybody's smoking and we go, oh my God, look at that. In the future, we'll look back at old football games going, oh, look how they are. My God, they're crashing into each other.
If you watch the NFL in the 70s, and then you in the 80s, and you watch the NFL game today, you'd be like, this is kind of
big difference, huh?
Low-hitting game. Absolutely. They're not comparable.
Let me take a phone call, then I want to read you the next one. Good morning, you're on the air.
Well, good morning.
Hey.
I remember back to the punting team and the kickoff team being called the Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's what they called it. I mean, special teams was the Suicide Squad. So, I mean, just there tells you if you're going to play on that position, any of those positions, you're in trouble. But, and then I go back to watching being, not just because I'm a Bar fan, but watching the Saints Viking playoff game, championship game. That game was brutal. I mean, they were out to kill a quarterback. And I don't care if it was Manning or, any other quarterback in the league, Eli Manning or anybody else. That was absolutely a brutal game. They were out to kill the guy. No matter if it was any of the other 32 quarterbacks or in the league.
And so you look at that now as barbaric, and that's probably why it's going in this direction.
It has to be. It has to be because it was bumped. I mean, I've had people that aren't even a Bar fan say it was criminal.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened?
It's all about the money.
It was just. I mean, they were out to kill the man. I mean, I don't know if they really want him dead, but they sure wanted him. They didn't want him playing again,
Wow.
At least not anytime soon.
What could be the end of boxing, too, then, if we start having those feelings?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, boxing is more brutal than football.
No, it's not anymore, and that's one of the things they're talking about. You're, as a defensive player, you are told, hit the guy in front of you as hard as you can. That is something that's instructed, and that is what they're looking for. If you're a coach, you want to intimidate the other team.
See, this is why I never played football. Because they would always want to recruit me in school, and they would say, hit the guy as hard as you can. No. I'm not going to hit him. Why should I hit him?
And the difference between boxing and that's the reason why boxing is not nearly as popular as it once was, right? I mean, because we look at and you talk to the boxing experts, they deny this, but if you look at what happened to Muhammad Ali, right, and the fact that he has Parkinson's but
didn't Joe Namath just admit that that's what happened to him? That was in the news last week.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, my point is that's what's beginning to happen to football. Is our stars and these people we love are now saying, you know what, I can barely function as a human being because of the time I spend on the football field. Right. And as that happens, when we look at our idols, because like it or no, these NFL players are worshipped. Then we're going to start saying, wait, this is wrong. We've got to stop, and that's what's kind of happened with boxing, and that's why we kind of pulled away from boxing as a society.
Could be, yeah.
And that's kind of what's going on.
Yeah, but those guys know that that's part of the game when they sign up to do it, and they get the salary, and they have their own insurance policies. I mean, these guys know they're going to get hurt.
Well, that's the other piece of it, this is the part of the lawsuit that they don't really talk about. The part of the lawsuit is that the teams, right? Because there's two different entities. You have the players, and then you have the teams. And the team's job is to put the product on the field, right? To sell advertising, to sell tickets, to get up TV shares, right? To get up the audience. And so what they were doing is they were drugging, they were using medication, they were falsifying medical records. They were, in some cases, they proved that they were actually lying to the player about their health condition. So this is all a part of the lawsuit. So as a player, my job is to play. And these guys, look, you're right. That's how they make their living, and they know that, and the teams use that against them. They're constantly saying, look, there's 100 guys on the street right now that want to be doing what you're doing. And so they're like, well, I got to get out there and play. And then the teams are saying, yeah, you're fine. I mean, they're finding evidence now that they had players that played with concussions every week. And they'd get a concussion during the game or their bell was rung, or what they called it back then, and they'd go right back out the next play. And now they're understanding the long-term impact of that. So you're right. These NFL players, they know what they're signing up for. But they're also being lied to at the same time.
Yeah, all right, that makes sense to me.
And if you only make, again, let's say an NFL player, the average NFL player makes a little over $400,000. And so if you do that for 2 years, there are no guaranteed contracts. So if you're hurt, you are done. And so you're going to get the workman's comp claim that the team applies for so that you can continue to live. So here you are, 3 years out of the NFL, and you have medical bills that are soaring because you are still hurt. That's a very, very, very real explanation. And you got to understand, 30% of whatever you make goes to your agent. So, and then another 20% goes to taxes. It's not as they don't make nearly as much for what they put their body through.
So maybe another reason why the NFL will change.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. For every year you spend in the NFL, you lose 5 years of your life.
Here's another one that Jason Stokes writes in the article that there will be no more huddles in 10 years.
Oh,
I agree with that. Yeah, because that's kind of because the game is becoming so fast-paced.
No, this is why he says the helmet itself will be a communication.
Did you say huddle?
Huddle.
Or helmet.
Huddles.
Huddle. Yeah. Okay, huddle.
No more huddles because the helmet itself will be a communication device and will have a heads-up display similar to Google Glass.
Oh.
So
Cool.
the coach or whoever would be able to make. Let's see. Let me just read this so I don't get it wrong. It would eliminate the need for huddles and further speed up the game. Players would receive plays in their ears as they make their lineups, along with the audibles, and with the HUD, the heads-up display, similar to Google Glass, which would be inside their helmet. They would be able to see let me cut to this because I know it's a long thing here. When a play is called, the player's visor would display the route, even singling out specific assignments. They wouldn't have to memorize long lists of plays and call signs anymore. It'll be right there in front of them.
Oh, my.
Possible.
Oh, my.
They'll still have audibles and things like that. But, yeah, why not? I mean, the quarterbacks already have a earpiece, so to call in the play. I believe that's possible.
All right, the next one is more for the referee. Pixelated play calling. And I watched a video on this because I didn't understand what it was. There was a little link on it where you could click on it. And what they do is they bring it down to like the real basic pixels whenever there's a play in question.
Oh.
And what that does for some reason, it says the technology, along with high-speed cameras on the sidelines, can remove the players, remove everything that's in the way, and give a more accurate display of what actually happened. Did the ball go out or not?
Oh, my gosh.
Was it inbounds or not? Simple as that.
Now, that's cool.
Pixel replacement technology is what they call it.
That is cool. Move everything else out of the way. That's pretty awesome.
360-degree cameras. This is for the fans.
Yeah, they have those now in place. They're just computer generated. Yeah.
What do you have, a device or?
Let's see. The reality is that the size and space restrictions make it difficult to employ such 360-degree camera setups, although the times are changing. 360-degree views of every play have already been seen in limited use on sports commentator shows. As far as the actual game is concerned, the tiny field-embedded fiber optics may be the answer. The fields of the future will no doubt be infused with a number of advancements, the smallest of which being the field cam. Implanted into the turf along the goal. Wow.
Gosh.
Well, they have those currently in some other sports. So where they're like NASCAR's got it. If you ever see that one where they call it the Gopher Cam with Fox. NASCAR already has that. And baseball's got one that they put right in front of the plate. They just only play it during like the All-Star game and things like that.
The next one is the European teams that you were actually talking about some time ago. The first one predicted to be Jacksonville Jaguars, just as Galen said.
Oh, gosh. Isn't that
What's not sure is are they going to change the whole name? Is it going to be the International Football League, or are they going to be the European NFL or the EFL, European Football League, or not sure what it would be called?
Okay. That's interesting.
One of the things they're talking about is whether or not they have another complete different league in Europe, and then that team plays a team from the NFL. So kind of like what you're talking about with the IFL and things like that. So because the trip from London to New York isn't that bad, but the trip from like the West Coast to London is ridiculous. So
yeah, right.
That's one of the things they're really concerned about.
The next one is really cool. If you're a football lover at home, you'll have camera selection at your from your chair. You could pick the camera.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and this is already in use for a lot of college games, like NFL, like ESPN 360. You could do that for the national championship game. That's currently already employed, so that's coming.
Wow, you could even get the quarterback view. I guess they'll have a camera on his helmet, huh?
What was the name of the league that was started by the wrestler? XFL. The XFL had the quarterback cam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the NFL has experimented with it. Their concern is they don't want other teams to like tap into that feed and somehow get an unfair advantage. So that's why it's kind of not been there. They've had the ref cam. They've had the safety cam. So, yeah, I think that as cameras get smaller and smaller, they're going to be placed in different spots all the time.
Clearly the one that got the most discussion was the no more kickoff prediction. But here's the last one. Let me get the last one, then we'll do some phone call or two. I see the phone's lit up here. You still call them lit up when it's just displayed. I see the phone's displayed here.
I see.
They're not lit up anymore. So the last one he writes about is that a new development in the sports world would allow fans to purchase stock in their favorite players. A major leap from the current fantasy sports trend, player brands now carry an actual cash value that may end up being traded, much the same way stocks of physical entities are today. Where once we traded cards of our favorite players, then traded fantasy teams, now we can trade stock in actual athletes.
So you make money.
I've heard this. Well, it's going to be interesting. I've heard this talked about. It's another way in which the NFL players and other players in other sports can create revenue. I know they're talking about it with the Premier League in soccer. I haven't heard about that in the NFL. I know it's being talked about for a lot of these teams that don't have a lot of funding in European soccer. That's one of the ways they're talking about it generating revenue. So,
all right, let me go to the phones. Good morning.
The question becomes is how do you it's not necessarily an investment. You're just basically paying to have this player on your team. There's no real stock options. It's not like you're going to get a dividend. It's just a way for the fan to support the team.
Okay, are you sure? I mean, it looks like here you do get a dividend.
Well, how would you get money back from a player? It's not a corporation.
Okay.
I mean, how is it going to How is it going to create revenue unless it takes it out of its own pocket?
Because you can trade it. You can trade it with somebody else. You can sell yours.
Well,
public offerings.
There's a perceived value, but most stocks, I guess, have it's a long term.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that would.
If I owned a piece of Johnny Football Player and you wanted it really bad, I could say, okay, yeah,
you could sell it to him. Yeah,
sure.
That's right.
I guess that could work. I mean, it's not necessarily a long term thing, but I'm just telling you the way they're using it in the Premier League in soccer.
Okay. So this is in the future. He's talking. I don't know, maybe
10 years. Wow,
anyway,
I love that stuff.
So it'll change in the future. It'll be faster. No more kickoffs. No more huddles.
Yeah.
Cool
I guarantee you the players will be faster and stronger. I mean, and that's always the case.
Cool technology, and there you go.
Yeah, I like that thing with the plays that the players can see inside their helmets.
And I did, by the way, see the time machine commercial. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was neat.
The Doritos. Whoever was on the phone bailed out. All right, let's see, Rob. We need a segue from the future of the NFL to donating blood.
Well, when the NFL goes to the future and they have all of this new technology for them, LifeSouth community blood centers will already have devised their new technology, and they'll be moving forward with newer technology to help save a life. So go to LifeSouth community blood centers and be a part of that new technology and help save a life with your technology, the human blood.
There you go. Nice. I would like to see. You know what I'd like to see at LifeSouth or all the blood centers? A device that just finds the vein right away. There we go. We got it.
Exactly. And they're not having to stick you all.
They do.
Oh yeah, they make them.
You just don't have them.
It costs like $700,000.
Oh man. Really?
Wow.
It's huge.
Wow.
It wouldn't even fit on the Bloodmobile. So.
It would be good.
All right. So Galen, where is the Bloodmobile today?
Bloodmobile today is at the YMCA, so we're going to be there today.
Right. The Bloodmobile today is at the YMCA.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Now that song is in my head.
And if you can't get over to the
YMCA.
I was hoping Robin would sing it.
I know what you wanted me to do. I just couldn't.
We got to go to.
You always make me sing.
There you go. There you go. And then if you can't get over there, go next door to the Cascades. That's where LifeSouth is on Silver Springs Boulevard. And Denellen, where is it, Robin?
Right next door to Sweet Bay.
In the future, radio announcers will be so different than they are today.
Yes, they will.
They're already different than they were 10 years ago. I know I am.
Sure.
All right, Galen, you at work yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right. All right. Well, you have a great day. Thank you for everything you do, Galen.
All right, you guys are the best. Thanks, y'all.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered.